Good morning. So we're gonna do market breakdown. We're gonna look at sectors. Then we're gonna look at the watch list, find some potential setups, and look at some winners from the last week and see how could we trade them better and see if they can actually continue um, being on our watch list. All right, first of all, we always start with the market and try to analyze what is going on with SPY. Jump it here. SPY, Qs, and IBM. Right. All right, so SPY coming with a lot of volume here, as you can see. We're getting a lot of red bars, so big volume on a sell, move down, as you can see, and then white bars move up on a lower volume. Then again, big selling to the downside. This is relatively equal volume, still on the downside, kind of a weak bar here. And then again, moving up on the lower volume, and as you can see volume fading. And then we get a rejection of this level. Okay, so let me remove something here. So as you can see, there's still uncertainty, still weakness, and then inside bar, kind of a bearish bar, not inside bar, but overlapping the prior day. Looking bearish here, guys. Yes, moving average is kind of going flat, but I think we can get continuation of move down easily here and the biggest sell-off. People trying to jump on a bounce here, anticipate, predict the bounce, but I think we need a bigger sell-off. Maybe some news or something and ride it back all the way to this 420s, 415s to start the next uptrend. We have to kind of reset it. But everything is possible. This might be the low, and we might not even go to that level anymore. 415, 420, right? Also, this could be just another bounce and then retest of the high and then go back down. Everything is possible. No predictions, just analyzing the volume and trying to kind of see the odds, right? Qs also big bars on the move down, as you can see here too, right? We have big bars on the move down. Then finally, big green bar, a big volume right here on a white bar. That's bullish, and the D buyers came in, and that was a low. That was the low, and then we had a retest on a lower volume. Selling was less, and then after that, again strong push higher on a bigger volume, and retest came in here again on a nice push on a bigger green, more big of a as you can see, white bars here, they bigger than the red bars, so more buying than selling coming in here. In this context, we got still more selling. There's not enough buying coming in here, as you can see. This only this day was kind of bigger than the other one and stuff like that, but I think we need a little move down on Qs as well. Just analyzing volume and bars, that's the most important indicator. So Dow getting a little bit of bigger spikes here on a white bars, but also inside the range. As you can see, the range from here to the top. So it kind of reminds me small caps IBM moving in the same kind of a direction. Getting rejecting the 50, as you can see around this 350. We'll see. On a weekly is also same picture. By the way, moving average is about to cross here on a weekly. We'll see. IBM small caps playing its own game. There's nothing going on here. There's a long consolidation. I don't see any signals on the volume side, so we'll see. Equal 500 ETF. Again, notice these little things. Huge volume on a big red days on a move down, and then we're moving up on a lower volume. Look in the prior history and you can see this is not good for the bullish. side, right? Because you don't get enough buying pressure, you get a lot of selling pressure. So I think we might get another leg down for the market, but um, we'll see. So now for sectors, guys, XOK. Um, so a little negative below all moving averages. So still has room to 20s. You got a moving average cross here. XLV also a weak one. Healthcare, right? Getting a little bit of spikes on a big bullish bars close to 200-day moving average. I know people have been buying their 200. So XLY, consumer discretion, are also kind of the same thing, huge volume on a move down and then moving up on a lower. You got XLC communication weak too. Even actually closing below 21 EMA here. All right, make a note. XLF financials are strong. There is a story behind, right? Rising interest rates, banks will profit. Plus, we all know many banks actually still did recover the March highs, so there's more room to go, right? And many banking actually, I have quite a few banks here, good ones in this financials too. So there are many banks looking at this type of pattern right now. It's a big consolidation stage two continuation breakout. And the volume, we can see we got selling volume here, big. Then we got a volume big right here coming in on a selling. After that, we kind of moving higher on a bigger volume to increase, right? Then we got a selling, and then now we're grinding up on a lower volume declining, as you can see. So worth paying attention. We need a big push here. All right, XLI industrial slightly improving, finding 200-day moving average, and we get a spike. So I think I do have a few industrial names here, like lift only, honestly. I had more last week when it was kind of bouncing here at 200-day moving average. We'll see, but again, volume dying off here. We need a more consolidation and push over this 2 points, two tops, 1 or 2 maybe. All right, XOP. So what I do, I always write for myself. Okay, financials, XLF, looking good. Okay. Then industrials, not bad, right? Holding up above the moving averages, nice bounce. XLU utilities, nothing there, and XLP, very similar, rejection. Actually, not a lot of selling here going on too on those last 2 days bars. Utilities flirting with 200-day moving average. XLRE looking weak too. But note this, XLRE bouncing on big volume on actually with the gap down. It's still considered to be red bars because we're opening down. Yes, we're closing higher, kind of like, but with the gap down. So I would still take this as a selling pressure. XLB, home builders, holding above 200-day moving average. Equally the same volume, kind of like average right here. So you can see still have more selling, oh, a little bit more selling than buying. But I would write XLB kind of like with XLI, improving sectors. As you can see, holding 200-day moving average, there's a potential, made a new high. As you can see, got rejected, but made a new high. And the volume was increasing on a move up. Little things like that. They create a case, right? We'll see. XLB, few sectors so far, kind of okay. XLE, the bomb. Look at the difference here. Big volume down right here, rejection. But what happens after that? The price just stays there. Or so you got a breakout here of this consolidation base breakout on increase in volume right here, and then selling. And that's what I say, price action always tells you the story, is the most important indicator. After this sell, we still holding the high here. So it was just a fake breakout over this pivot point. Somebody sold, but there's somebody still buying it and holding in this level at 52. They don't do any deep pullbacks. This is a very bullish indicator. As you can see, this day, was a nice push on a bigger volume and could be a buy, and then the next day just follow through. So I would watch for the big breakout here on XLE. So XLE is the top leader right now. XLF is the next one. Then we have XLI and XLB. Those are top four at this point. So we're gonna look at other sectors real quick. Let's look KBE. What's going on here? This is banking, another banking name, KBE, as you can see, improving too. Need bigger volume, want to move up. China internet was bouncing. We're paying attention. So something changing here. Notice something changing here in behavior. So we made a new low, but it was a higher than this one, right? Higher than this. Then we got 2 bars of spiking. So we had news that Biden wants to talk with the Chinese government and discuss whatever situation, right? Look at the week list. What do we get here? First time, or second time actually going above 10. Okay, but still, the 30 week still down. So this is going to be our possible stage 1 beginning. So we have moved. We have room towards 55.82, so we can move about 5 points here. Nice weekly volume, but keep in mind, this is the beginning of the stage. This was another good example of the stage. As you can see, we came in, broke higher, and then retested again. It takes time for the stock indices to build up position and then eventually move from this declining, stage. But this is changing behavior with the volume and everything. I will add China internet on my list too. Actually, first time since, I don't know, since this time, I think. I traded once here, the bounce, the beginner, kind of this one of these bounces we've traded, but they didn't follow through right here. So we'll see. IGV, nothing here. All right, IYT, transportation. Take a note here. Big push and big volume. Pull back on a lower volume. Transportation, IYT. Okay, is another strong area. And we can Google it, find what stocks in transportation or in IYT, ETF, ITA, defense. So not bad, right? We had a consolidation breakout, volume spike, ITA, defense. So people like to go into defensive names because of market uncertain, right? So same as utilities, but utilities kind of weak. Nothing here. Robot, nothing. Or FDN, nothing. Nothing. Semiconductors, poor, really poor. Look at the selling pressure and then buying on the lower volume. Nothing going on there. IHI, nothing. Look at the big bar on IYZ, telecommunication. Did they have some names there? Telecommunication. Don't see any. All right, Page. This one was looking good, but it's kind of getting a lot of reject here once it's moving higher on a low volume. It's a leisure, right? Because there is a problem here. Still, people thinking about lockdown and flu season starts, more cases of COVID, so little negative. All right, so this one, GDX, mining gold. With the gold moving a little bit, IBB nothing. OIH, that's another oil, and XOP, another oil. OIH, by the way, have more room to improve. So the difference between these oil ETFs, they just have different names in them. Some of them are more diverse. Some have mining names and oil parts, right? Some of them just oil names and like gas names. So, and that's why they move a little bit different. But OIH has a potential breakout coming in here as a sector, could be traded too, right? XOP, boom, new highs, very strong. So kind of goes to the same area. OIH, I do like it. XOP, I do like it too. We'll see. XME, metals mining, kind of holding here 200, consolidating lower volume, maybe over this 43.70s. We'll see. Nothing here. XBI very weak. As you can see, biotech just nothing going on there. Marijuana still grinding down. Jets Airlines, I tried once right here. It just dropped back down. Big volume push and then selling on relatively big volume too, and then just holding up. I think they still have a chance to retest this 25 and continue go higher. Moon nothing, QCLT nothing, PRT is printing, 3D printing nothing, 10 nothing. This is solars, right? As you can see, there's nothing fuzz going on there. QQ nothing, PAVE a little curl here going on here. Infrastructure defensive, we already have ITA, right? This is kind of infrastructure and defensive names. Interesting. ARCs just smoked. Look at this. There's nothing going on. By the way, performance for these ETFs negative. That's the beginning of the year, negative. RKQ beginning of the year, it's a little positive on this one. RKK negative. RKW should pretty much break even negative. That's really bad. RK Financials, innovative fintech, pretty much in break even. Blockchain, a little improved here on blockchain. You can see it hold up. Plus we get Bitcoin being going crazy, right? Blockchain a little interesting. So we got what? A push on big volume, sell on a little volume with the bullish week down, 2 weeks in a row. It's a pretty nice indication. High low build up compared to this one, right? Above the moving average eventually. Nice push here on a bigger volume, 2 green bars on a row, and sideways action on a lower volume. So I would be watching this probably breakout over 48.76. Plus you get all moving averages curling. It's bullish. Plus weekly is going sideways. Once we get this moving average cross on a weekly, I think we might get a nice push here. I do like this. Need bigger volume. Need some confidence from investors coming in this sectors. It's still innovation, right? The blockchain and all this stuff. And Bitcoin been moving crazy too, right? So BTC, as you can see, made a new high, push on a bigger volume, pull back on a lower volume. Ethereum, nice big volume push, and pull back here, kind of hold up on a lower volume. So I would watch those. ETHE, GPTC, also Bitcoin related, looking good. All right, so we get about 10 sectors. 10 sectors, that's really good. Now I want to look at VUG. First of all, let's do VTV. This is the value ETF, the value stocks. What are we seeing here? There's nothing. Consolidation going on from this area. And just like flat moving average is flat. Nothing going on there on value. Growth, a little different. Volatility is higher. Big bar selling down, then moving kind of at the bottom on a lower volume, and then still hold up here. So we'll see. SPOV, that's a low volatility ETF. Low volatility stocks is your lowest. Home Depot stocks, right? What do we have here? A little bit of bouncing here, right? Close to 200 again, to the prior area of the bounce right here, 59, around 60 bucks. A little bit first entry of the bounce, probably. There's dodges. Rejecting on a lower volume. We'll see. I want to see another test, maybe even another lower low test. When they're going to do another test here, there are two options. It is going to be a big volume or low volume. If it's a low volume test, it's more bullish than a big volume test. But since we're coming to this important pivot point, we gotta see the context of this touch. If the big volume comes in here, it could be a stopping volume and a lot of deep buyers coming in here, and final people gonna panic below 200. So this also could be a very good indication if the big volume coming in. SPHB high beta names, just sideways, nothing going on, but big volume spike here and just sideways high beta names. It's your Nvidia, Microsoft, so growth names, right? IGH. It's nothing important here. FFTY. This is IBD 50. High growth names. Look at the volume here. Look at the distribution. Boom, boom, boom. And then just bouncing on a low volume here. Nothing good here, guys. I think we're gonna have more room to the downside. All right, we kind of get a perspective what's going on with the market. Again, spike, use, Dow, IVM, possibly another leg down. So we kind of have a weakness here, right? So write it down. So volume tells you the story. A little weak market, right? Because of the volume. Plus, what else? Seasonality, September, October, not good, right? September, October seasonality effect, not good. All right, so now, since we have the overall picture, we can jump and see. I already kind of build a watch list here, and by industries, right? Or by sectors. Let's do by sectors, actually. All right, let's start from the top and do name by name and see what are the best stocks to watch. So open, I had this stock on watch so many times. We called it breakout here, very, very clean. Look at how clean it plays out these levels. This is what, 30-minute chart? So let's look at this. Yeah, 30 minutes sounds good. So we had initial this breakout over after the earnings, right? Retest came back down. So this was a stage 2 breakout right here and a pullback retest on a bigger volume, pushing, riding these clouds, moving averages, and then another breakout and then pullback. So this was a sell, but look at this level forming here. From wide range bar, we testing here, right? And then breaking down, rejecting, coming back and closing at the level. What happens on these days? Consolidating above this level. What is this? Flip. Flip when resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance, right? Now this is support. So very nice push. Look at the volume. First 30-minute bar, very decent volume, actually bigger than the prior day. And of course the next 30-minute on a nice breakout. So I would watch this ticker. It's already in a breakout. Ideally, we want to see another consolidation. 2250 would be a big breakout, stage 2. So as you can see from this to this is a big stage 2 forming. I mean stage 1 consolidation. And we're looking for 2250 breakout and run higher. Earnings were actually phenomenal here, right? And look at the volume increase. Do you see this? This is accumulation. Low volume dried off and then push higher. So high alert, ATHM, next one. A little increase in volume, right? A little increase in volume right here, running higher. As you can see, very nice movements here on the 30-minute chart. So we can look at the 5-minute chart, very clean too. Nice level forming here. I like when they actually form clean levels. As you can see right here, touching and then touching here. Perfect, easy to read on the 5-minute, right? Gradual volume, as you can see. Rising volume on the move higher, pull back, consolidation, low volume, end of the day push. So ATHM, what is this? Communication, not the best sector, right? We didn't see anything here in the communication bullish, but this is a potential beginning of the stage 1. Big volume was here, increase in volume up, lower volume pullback, increase again. I would watch for continuation or move towards the 60 freeze. HIMX, this one interesting. I found this idea on FinTweet, somebody's mentioning. So 2 case scenarios here. First of all, we can look at the weeklies. What are we having here? Big consolidation going on. Is it getting ready for another move up or another move down? For me, this is bearish because from this point, from here, you got a moving average cross and now it's grinding down. If the market will be bearish, I think this one might start losing it. This kind of around the $10 levels. Shorting below 10 could be a good thing. Riding into the earnings here, they come in on 11/4, so we have 1 month until the earnings. At the same time, this is triple bottom, so also can get some bounce here. Descending triangle, right? descending triangle, but all negative, and you got a moving average cross here. Nothing good here. I personally think this is a beginning of a stage 4 declining stage for this ticker. Semiconductors, remember sector? Not good. All right, move next. Another semiconductor, but this one is hot. This one is hot, and here's important. While we're talking about this, I want to also point smaller time frame, 30-minute time frame. Look at this clean level. You don't need anything else just to understand the price, support, and resistance. You got a bounce here, you got a bounce here. What are we doing? Testing some prior day levels from here, right? So then another bounce here, consolidating, closing weak, squeezing down, right? So as you can see, put a trend line here, it's a squeezing down. Somebody holding the bottom here. And then once the bottom is gone, look at the volume came in, flushing down. What do we have after? Retest here, made a new low. Look at the volume, relatively low, lower than this one. Remember what I told you about the example? When we're doing a retest on a lower volume, and this was happening right here on this day, right? The prior level, right? When we do a retest on a low volume, there's not enough selling coming in. And if the bar closing above this pivot point, there's usually a bullish indication. So this was the first signal right here, about 1290 breakout over this micro pivot point, and then retest, closing kind of weak. Oh, closing strong actually. And then that was this bar, right? First sign of strength on a pullback. And that's how the pullbacks usually work. But so overall, the stock is strong, right? First bounce, closing the window. This is the first signal where to go long, right? A little risky. You've stopped below 21. The next day confirming. And you know, this is a good phrase. Winners, they don't make excuses, right? If this is a really good setup and we have a buying coming in, the next day it follow through. What is this? Resistance, right? I mean, support here, right? Support here, here's a resistance. Now we're flipping back to support, back to support. Okay, we got a first lot here, sitting with the widest stop, kind of break even, no biggie, right? Sitting. The context tells you the story here, and it's curling. Volume just dies off, as you can see. Boom, first 30-minute bar, look at the volume. So always zoom out, zoom in on a 10-minute. Look at the volume coming in on 10-minute. Boom, right? So nice breakout, big volume. This is your second lot. And look at this, no excuses. Very nice push here all the way to the high, closing on a high and just continuation of move higher. The only concern here, this is semiconductors, and semiconductors are weak, but it's playing its own story. We can look at the weekly. What is this? Relatively fresh breakout, right? Right here, and this is a second stage continuation of breakout. I would watch this ticker. I think there's also a little bit of short squeeze going on here. Looking interesting for continuation. Again, be careful chasing. You got a gap up here, but it's, if you look at a small time frame, 5 minutes, it's really nice to day trade and swing trade as well, right? It's a gradual stock. All right, next one, SSYS. I mentioned this first day right here. We were talking about this nice push immediately. Why? Institutions buying. You can read news. Cathie Wood's buying. What are we getting here? Consolidation, stage 1 breakout. This is the first breakout over these 2 pivot points. As you can see, nice consolidation. Could take initial entry in this range between 27 and 25. But again, you see level right here coming kind of from this pivot point and this one. We got to overcome this around 30 mark, 28 to 30. So maybe we're gonna get another 4th day. Usually the rule of thumb, I'm using four green candles on a row, time to sell, and you see a little bit of selling coming in into this area. So what I want to see here on this name is actually kind of a build up, you know, get another reject, do a pullback, meet all moving averages, and we'll go from there. Look at the weekly. What are we getting? Increase in volume on a week. First sign of some change. What else? Look at these 2 moving averages. Every time, this is kind of a bullish case scenario. Every time we get a moving average cross on the weekly, 10 and 30, this is the beginning of the move. 10 and 30 cross, beginning of the move. 10 and 30 cross. All right, so we'll see. I do like this SSYS plus accumulation from institutions and a lot of interest and informational technology, right? We also want to see market being on our side. APPS, we took it here, a few days swing out, nice, right? So I'm gonna get rid of this yellow line because it started doing a different thing here, right? From this pivot point, from 80. This is our range. Beautiful range, right? So we need another pullback. Give us another pullback. We got kind of relatively strong selling here, increase in volume on upside. Lower volume pullback back to this moving averages. Also very nice levels here. As you can see, clean breakouts here, right here, then a retest, clean, right? This was resistance, breakout over resistance, retest, gives you multiple opportunities to play. So APPS very clean, looking for the pullback. Unity software is also very clean. Look at this. Do you see this setup for the pullback? It's very similar with the one I just mentioned on the other tickers, right? Nice consolidation and eventually breakdown on a bigger volume right here. Making new low, bigger volume. What day are we talking about? Talking about this day. Below the moving average, 50, right? Volume slightly higher than the prior day. But look at this selling here coming and selling here. Less volume. Okay. Know this, close to 200, right? What do you see the next day? Strong push and a big volume and closing higher. Again, this was our support. Now we break in support and it becomes support again, right? When we couldn't overcome here. That was just a fake breakdown down and bullish engulfing on a bigger volume. Now it's curling up. So this was the first entry, a little aggressive. It's better to enter actually end of the day right here on a confirmation above moving averages and looking good. I would still want to see another pullback here on Unity. All right, HUT, we traded this from the pullback here. Very nice looking chart. I would still watch this one. Hot, I think it's a mining Bitcoin related company. Beautiful cup and handle. So watch out for the breakout higher. So you see nice push upside. Big selling was here, right? I remember we actually sold on this day. There was a big selling. And the pullback and a hold up, right? So look at this. This was the high here, wide range bar bounce here, some pre-market levels, a little flirt with this low. So 975 possible stop. So risking around 975, 960. So let's see if it's gonna build up here and a breakout of the 11 might indicate a really good buy towards this high 13s, even higher. This is relatively, I believe, yeah, it's a fresh base. Look at the volume increase. Interest going on. Earnings come in on 11s. We have time, guys. All right, so let's continue. Snowflake, beautiful cup and handle. Need more time for the pullback here. Consolidation, but it's the same story. The only problem on Snowflake, you see the difference here. We had a nice breakout right here. This was beautiful. I'll show you in a small frame in a moment. But where is the volume? Where is the volume? It's a little concerning. See what I'm saying? Nice chart, stage 2 breakout coming in here. So we had actually, I'll take my words back. This was the stage 2 breakout right here. It's possibly stage 2 continuation building, right? Higher over these 2 big pivot points, but there's no volume. Honestly, putting some alerts breakout over this 328.50 on a big volume could be a good initial buy and see what we can do. The highs here, 429. So we have a lot of room on this one. AFRM. Let me go back to Snowflake. I want to show you something. How could we take this as a day trade, as a swing trade, anything? All right, so pullback, holding up, making new low. Again, after the new low, what's the reaction? Bullish close, engulfing price action. So what else we seeing after that? That was this day, right? Big volume, and closing strong, right? So what happens the next day? We're doing a breakout and a pullback, and a volume is relatively high. Pullback to the prior day consolidation right here. This is your first indication of potential long. Boom. And then you get a nice close because it closed bullish. Second candle engulfed the whole entire row of these candles. Pullback, and then the next day gives you a potential add-on. It's a little risky because it's a third day, but it's a beautiful free bar play right here. Pullback on the lower volume, could take a long here, maybe even a bigger size as a day trade, right? Stop below right here, and a very nice push. We actually were talking about this trade. This was about 3.5 hour to the high. Very nice. Anyway, so AFRM, worth watching, strong stock, almost all-time high. Look at the volume coming in. You cannot say institutions don't buy this. They do buy. And this was, I traded right here. Look at this, how clean it is. It is choppy on a small time frame on 1 minute, a little whippy, but on a 5 minute, it does look decent. The reason I like this because of levels. Look at this, how cleanly this pivot point played out here. It's structured. It's structured levels, right? So how could you trade this day? Let's discuss this because that was a big runner on, you know what, actually let's move back and discuss how we could play it here, right? Let's go to 10-day, 30 minutes. Similar case scenario, look at this. The other two stocks we just discussed, very similar. We were kind of like going sideways here on the moving averages, right? Volume fading, and then dropping down on this day, volume a little higher. What do we have after that? Back to the breakdown area, right? Rejecting and rejecting here. The next day, what do you see here? Huge volume. That's bullish. Once we're clearing this level, that's a first entry, and then you get a retest on the 30 and then break out this range, right? So it's an opening range breakout, 1 hour candle. So that's first kind of 2 entries right here, or 1 entry could be. And then finally clearing these 2 levels, actually multiple levels here, as you can see in 1 bar. This was a crazy day, right? It's just a massive run. That could be a second add-on on a massive volume. And how could we trade in the past few days? So first of all, this was the high here, right? Let me put this level here. And then what happened on this day? We tested this and rejected pullback, right? The low also kind of started at this breakout area right here. So what else you see here? Nice consolidation attempt to go higher, could not, lower high, and then sell back. Kind of weak closure on this day, right? So on Friday, how could you already have these levels, right? You already have some local levels from the prior day. As you can see, it's not selling. Nice volume coming in here on a push higher. Coming to this pivot point, consolidation, push higher, reject, and consolidation above this local level. Then consolidation above this local level and this. Do you see what I'm saying? See this last point of support? What else? Flag. Look at this, drying volume a little bit here, right? Drying volume and bigger volume push here and a move higher. Drying volume, this is very structured. And we took a trade here, right here on this candle. Sold on a high here, 144. This was a pretty good trade, right? And it faded. All right, so I would still watch this one. We'll see. Here you go, financials, strong sectors, MFC, kind of below this moving averages here, but I do like this. Flat top building up, kind of squeezing, volume increase. You see volume increase, a little selling came in here, but after that on a big volume push higher. So we'll see what we're gonna do here. This breakout might trigger a strong push towards this prior levels around this 20, what is this? 22.25s. What I like about is the weekly chart. We getting kind of a double bottom here and increase in volume. So moving average curl coming in here, right? And intersection. Every time we do this curl, moving average on weekly, stocks tend to run. All right, so let's look at the next one. APO Apollo, also weekly, looks strong. On a daily, this is already a breakout over this pivot point, right? Volume needs to step up, right? So it's kind of declining volume. Let's see the follow through here. LC, Landing Club, strong one. I do like this on a 5-minute too, right? Sometimes it trades really nice. It's kind of whippy on Friday. But Landing Club holding up this moving averages. Look at this increase in volume, interest from deep buyers. So I would watch probably for a breakout over this reject. So let's look at the volume here. So this was bigger volume. Look at this level. See the level? So here we bounce some local level. We're bouncing here multiple times, dropping, rejecting. Shorts came in here, shorted here, and then we doing another local level dropping down here. Okay, this was another level right here. So what I would watch here over 31, possible breakout over 31. We're gonna squeeze and then bigger breakout coming over 31.72 for this push higher towards this 33. It's looking good. All right, UPST, very nice. Look at this level forming here to the penny. Touching, same thing, right? So we have some local rejection here, not big from this point coming here too. So 315s. Once we go over this 315s, candle over candle, let me see, selling. This selling was a little higher in this bar, kind of consolidating. This is very nice stair stepper. Do you know, I used to be like, oh man, this is already too much. I cannot do it, but they can continue grinding and grinding, doing step after another step. Potential target to 346 and then another breakout for all-time high. So 315 potential entry for me. SI, strong one. We actually talked about this and had this on alert right here in this 2 days. Look at the increase in volume running into the earnings. What is this? Stage 1 breakout right here. This is a failure, then retest, curl back, increase in volume, and then breakout here. So again, very nice stock. As you can see, this was the day of the breakout, right? No, not this one. We go on 30 minutes. Right here on this day, Monday, right? Yep. On this day, we had a breakout here and increase in volume, little selling going on here, and then nice bullish push to the upside with some selling at the top, and then you got a second day runner. So how could you take a trade here, kind of build a position? So you got a big selling on this day, but push back to the high. Of course, this is extended, right? SI, pretty extended. If you buy in here at 125, it's at 166. You don't buy it here until you see the price kind of shows you signs of strength of accumulation and then slows down a little bit, right? Doing some fake moves, fake breakouts, because this was a fake breakout right here. Drop some people. Impatient people decided to jump in here and, well, get smoked. You know, move back down, holding this level, and now this potential kind of a support building around this 150 and 146. So what are we gonna do here is just wait, because it's already big push and right before the earnings. I want to see the reaction here. The last 2 times kind of rejected here. All right, well, this one looking interesting. Top of the list. Look at this, how clean it is. Nice consolidation on a high, looking for the breakout over this 112.60 maybe. Another financial, right? Almost done. CCXI was a good one on right here. We actually had this on alert first time. I'll show you where. Right here. Look at this level forming here. Reject, could not count, didn't get close, came back on a big volume, little reject, pull back. This was the day, I believe, we put it on alert. One of these days. It had a nice breakout. I didn't take this trade, but look at this. made a nice run to 20s, and then it's 40s right now. That would be phenomenal, right? If you still would hold this. So, but anyway, on a 5-minute chart, this actually trades really clean. So you got undercut some of the levels right here. Yeah, local level, the bounce from this one, right? Made a couple green candles and then engulfing bullish right here. After that, we didn't sell much. What do you see here? Big selling, right? Big selling here on the last 3 candles. Possible stopping volume, and then moving higher on the low volume a little bit, right? The consolidating on a low volume, and then finally big push. This is the first candle where probably you should go long. After that, it was a high here. Look at this, how clean this high played out here. You see what I'm saying? This is a very clean chart. And the way this stock is moving is so clean. Plus the range here, look at this, 12 bucks. It had some very, very good positive news. I would be watching this for continuation of move higher, or at least some sort of a, very good price action. Fold, trying something, need more volume here. What is Biotech? Biotech is not the top priority ETF, right? We had 10 top ones, Biotech not one of them. So, but it's looking good, right? First signs, kind of a try to break here, could not, sold and pushing back on a little bit higher volume than the average. So I don't know what happened here, any bad news, but we ate them, right? And back to where we came from. So it's a little bit of bullish sign. Or STK, guys. This is my top priority stock. Look at this. We had a level here coming in from this time. You see the pivot point? We bounced here once, two, rejected. That was a resistance, boom, breaking higher. Breaking back down, testing, rejecting. Now we're coming back over on a higher volume. Let's look on a smaller time frame. See how clean it is? So now it needs to confirm this level and possibly start curling up. OSTK, why it's also moving? Because they accept Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, they involved in that too, right? There are probably some other reasons. I don't know what else going on, but the technicals tells us the story. The only problem here is low volume. We want to see bigger volume breakout. So maybe first entry could be around the 78. So candle over candle, right? The high, breakout of the high, Friday high, and see if it's gonna follow through on a big volume. All right, Ford, we talked about this, flag breakouts, the second attempt. So nice reject. So gonna see the pullback here. Nice increase in volume. ARVL was an alert on Friday. Look at this beauty. Again, no volume. I didn't take it this just because no volume. This was a breakout on a 5-minute. Look at this, how they did this flag consolidating. Volume was dying off. I kind of didn't want to take any of this. I was looking at right here, like how it's probably gonna pop. Yeah, it did pop, but need more volume, guys. When they move like this and there's no volume, there's more risk involved. Moving average going down, but there's a first sign of the change in behavior. Do you see the moving averages trying to catch up on a weekly? Need more volume, interest from institutions, not just manipulators and speculators, right? GM was a nice one, just watching, and the price action is phenomenal last 2 days. Right here came to resistance, no chasing, increase in volume. Gotta see the pullback, build up, maybe cup and handle, and we'll go for the breakout, especially when market is going to be on our side. GNTX very similar, another outer related outer components. Dividend, and then coming into the earnings. Nice kind of a breakout here, as you can see. Lift, watch lift for the breakout over this area. I'm gonna have an alert. I'm not gonna take a trade until it's gonna clear this area, because it's very often it's a choppy one. It needs to have volume too, right? CF, beautiful. What do we have here? Breakout on another kind of material name. I think they also related to gas and oil. So building consolidation on a high, big volume push, selling, buying, back and forth, right? So let's look at the small time frame. What do we see here? What do we see here? Consolidation, a little rejection here. On hourly, I can see selling coming in. kind of a doji here, but not a lot of volume. Look at this hourly candles. There's big volume here in the buying. This volume came in at the bottom, and then we get a push here. So this is the reject. 61.67. That's going to be a good breakout for continuation. This is not a big size because it's already extended from the moving average, and this was the breakout, right? If it's going to get going and put some of these days like this, I would be selling if I decide to play for the breakout here, right? KMI also looking interesting, breakout 1749. Another oil. So now we're going to go through the strongest sector, right? Oil and gas. So KMI need to have higher volume a little bit, but you see the moving averages crossed the beginning. Weeklies, what do you see here? Same scenario. Potential cross here, increase in volume. I like it, bullish. All right, so EPD, also a nice one, trying to break higher. Where I also look at the 5-minute chart, how do we move? Is it good for people to day trade? It's not bad. Look at this price action. We don't get those like dash lines, you know. It's a decent volume going on here. There's an AMTX, a little bit difficult. You see a little empty spots here, but what do you see here? Big cup, handle, breakout here on a big volume spike here, right? A little bit. Then pull back on low volume, selling here. So we had a seller here. What does it mean? 1985. Once we overcome 1985, so we can actually play for potential long. Oil is hot, right? All right, the next one is another oil name below 200, but DK looks decent. As you can see, it's squeezing. Nice breakout over this range. Nice, another range increase in volume last 3 days. Again, weekly is very strong. Beginning of the move, right? We have room to run. All right, the other two are my favorite. Apache, what is this? Beautiful range breakout. Apache, we have room to run to this 30 pivot points, right? I'll show you right away. Oxy, similar thing. The entry was actually initiated earlier. Let me show you where we initiated. This early entry right here. Look at this. So you see this range from here. Put a level here. From this day, we had a sell, right? So we came back, tested, could not. Down, 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 tested. Rejection on the bigger volume after that. Came back. Breakout. Again, need bigger volume, but that was a first aggressive entry. High, low, right? Above all moving averages. Moving average crossing here. Curling up, first entry. And then volume came in here, confirming, then selling came in over this pivot point. What a surprise. Selling and then immediately pushing back higher. So we took another entry long. I'm long on this day, right here. Since the open, I think we took it long. Nice breakout, longer hold. Keep in mind, small size here because it's already a little bit extended. Apache, similar case, right? Just getting into this breakout right now. Here you go, right there. All right, guys, this is the list. And again, on Monday, what are we doing? Scanning, seeing if something new coming on Monday, right? On a gainers list, might add a few more names here. Earnings season kicks in on like 15th, I believe, coming week, right? So watch for that. So, and if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, take care. I'll see you on Monday.